Hello everyone, it's Alex. One of the most requested features for Kwik in the past was the ability to paint images to create coloring books, for example. I brought this feature, I believe, in Kwik 1 point something, and a few has changed since then. But with Kwik 2, previous users are still, and even new users are still asking me, can you show again on how to do that? Because the interface has changed and there are some still questions about this. So my idea today here is to do a quick video on how to do a quick tutorial on how to do painting app or a painting page on your own storybooks or apps. I have here this Photoshop composition. It's in fact a pretty simple one. I have a background here, the painting canvas title in this layer, and I have a couple of buttons which are gonna be our color selection. So there's blue, there's white, and there's orange, and I don't know why I named it but black, but this is gonna be orange. Let me just fix it, orange. So this way you are gonna keep things on track. There's this camera button here in the bottom, and this is gonna be our button to create a screenshot from the painting. And I have also two buttons here in the right. The large button, it's gonna represent the brush size and the boot median. And I have two layers here. This one here is at this moment at opacity 0, and I'm going to explain why later on. And so let's not mess up with her with this layer yet. And I have the canvas layer, which is the layer that we are gonna paint. So let's start. Let's create a new project here in Kwik. So new project. Let's name it tutorial canvas, and I'm gonna set this as an iPad. It doesn't matter, you could set it as an universal. If you decide to use new universal, new iPad here, you would need to resize everything because everything is set for 1024 by 768. So I'm gonna set the orientation, and also I'm gonna set this image as first image in our project. In fact, it's going to be the only one, but anyways, let's create it. So the project is created now, and what I do, and I always tell people to do that whenever it's possible, as soon as I create the page and I'm satisfied with the images and I know this is going to be the image, the final layout of my page, I like to export with image before I start to add any kind of interactivity. And the reason I do that, again, I like to do that, is because I don't have to remind to export the image after, and all I will focus from now on are gonna be the interactions, the animation, things like that. So let's do it. There's nothing established yet for this imagery here, but let's publish with image. So it's gonna take a while the first time because there are lots of images here. But again, the moment you do this for the first time, you don't have to keep export image. And if you need to tweak some image, we are gonna use some new tricks from Kwik 2.2 that I showed in another video, and I'm gonna talk about them, some of them again in this video. But for a start, we are exporting everything, and we are gonna see it in Corona simulator as soon as we finish, just to check that everything is okay in the correct positions. So it's almost there. It's exporting the last layer, and we are gonna receive yes, project published. So let me open here this correct project. This is the tutorial canvas. Let me see here, tutorial canvas. Here we go. And okay, so we have this here, and I cannot do anything. Okay, it just the copy of this painting Photoshop composition. So back in Photoshop, let's start to play with the things here. The first thing to do is, we could start from different angles. I'm gonna start with the buttons, leaving the canvas to the end. So this way, if you're not familiar yet with Kwik, the buttons and things like that, we're going to be able to get familiarized with that. So first thing I'm going to do here then is disable the export image, because from now on, as I told you before, we are going to just add actions and animations and interactions. So I don't need to export the image anymore because I have them. So let me start with this first button here, which is the button medium. So it's the first one in the right. So I select the button medium, and I'm gonna come here in the interactions area, and I'm gonna set this as a button. And the way I do that is add button. So I click that. I like to name everything, and again, I think names are important. You can accept the names that Kwik provide. You can enter your own names. Things that you cannot do, you cannot leave this in blank. You cannot use as a button name the same name of a layer, for example. You cannot do that, because if you do so, two objects are going to have the same name in your final code, and this is going to bring errors. So try always to use different names. So I'm gonna add here, but I'm gonna call it medium brush. Okay. In this case, because I do not have any medium brush, I'm just gonna use medium brush. Okay. So the layer is correct. I'm gonna set the same layer, and the only interaction that I'm gonna add here, I'm gonna come and find the canvas. I found it. And I'm gonna set this as a brush size, because again, we are setting size for the brush. So brush size, this window appears. I'm gonna accept the size 15. So the button, it's gonna be more or less this size here, and I'm gonna set this alpha to 100% for this particular button. And I'm gonna create this. So what's that? The size is pretty clear. It's gonna be the size of your brush, and the alpha is the transparency of your painting. The larger this number, then the number could be from 0 to 100%. The larger the alpha, the alpha, strong is going to be the color. So 100% means 100% of color. 50% means that there's going to be 50% transparency. So this is the brush selection, create, and I don't need anything else for this brush. So just medium brush, brush size 15, create. And I'm gonna do the same for but large. I select the but large layer here, come back to add button. I'm gonna name it large brush, and again I'm gonna come here to the canvas and say brush size, and now I'm gonna set a larger brush. I'm gonna set a 30 pixel brush, and I'm gonna just add 50% alpha, so this way when we click the thing, we are going to be able to check how they differ from each other. So create. So now we have two buttons, and let's continue the size here. Let's click the butt camera, which is the last one again, and create a button for this. We're gonna call it take picture. And also in the canvas, take a screenshot. So Kwik offers you the ability to play a small audio file, like the shutter audio that the cameras do when you press the click button. So we are gonna set this, and also what kind of message the user will receive when the picture is taken. So we are gonna set this as is. If you're working in a different language, this would be a nice moment to localize this message here. So we are gonna just accept that and create. Okay, so next thing here, let's set the buttons from the other side here. So let's come back here into the blue button. Okay, And again, still in buttons, add button. I'm just gonna make things faster now. So put blue, canvas, and I'm gonna set the brush color here. Okay. So the brush color, Kwik try to find out what is the main color in the object. This way he couldn't, or it couldn't. So it just offered white. We don't want white. So what we can do here, just press this coloring button, and this is a nice addition since Kwik 2.1, I think, or 2.2, I don't remember anymore. You don't need to set flash or have flash anymore for that. So the picker appears. We want to have a blue. You can select different pickers here. Let me see if we have any different blue. So let's try to pick something more close to that blue. I think it's gonna be more or less in this range here. So let's accept, just close the picker, create. This is gonna be our blue. Okay, we are gonna do the same for the but white. And what I'm gonna again do here is just name to make things easier for us. Canvas, brush color. In our case, we are gonna accept the white. Although this is not a full white, let me just pick a gray, a little bit of bluish gray. So okay, so create. And lastly, we are going to do the same for the orange, but orange. Let me bring this window here. Orange, canvas, brush color. And let's pick an orange here. I like to go more this side here. Okay. This is a nice orange. So we have all the buttons, and pretty much we have our drawing ability almost done. We are still missing the main canvas, and we are going to cover that. But it's I like also to add some kind of flavor or spice to the app. So let's quickly create and add the ability for the user to shake the device, in our case here the iPad, and have the drawing will automatically erase it. So in order to do that, we need to do two steps. The first one is to create an action for the erase. And the way we do that, I come back here to the toolset projects and page. So actions. And I don't even, I'm gonna rename this. All I'm gonna do is come back here in Canvas and say erase canvas. And this action will do pretty much is when something trigger this action, the image will be erased. I mean, all the paintings are gonna be erased. So just it. So as you know, the concept of actions are functions or things that you can call from different objects, from a button, for example, from a shake movement. If you not set anything to trigger the action will exist but will never start. So the way it is at now, this action will never start. So we need to tell Kwik how to start this action if needed. So the way we do that is we are going to come here to the interactions, and we are going to find the enable shake, and we are going to click that. And the only thing that shake requires from you is tell me which action I have to play when user shake my device. So it's going to be act 088. It's the only one that we have, and that's it. So with that, if we publish now this project, we are going to have everything set up, but users are not going to still be able to paint because there is no canvas yet. And that's the thing that we are going to discuss more here. The concept of painting here in Kwik, in fact in Corona, reality is because Corona does not offer yet an ability to manipulate pixels. So we are just faking paints. When you try to brush things on your screen, in fact, what Kwik does is to fill the air that you know brushing between coats with is small circles. So we are not painting officially. We're just faking the idea of painting. So some people ask me, can I use a real brush or an image instead of the circles? You could do that using an image instead of a circle, but again, it's gonna be just the same image copied many times as you brush your screen. So again and again, no matter if it's a circle, just an image, it's fake. It's not reality. So this is the first thing to understand. The second thing to understand is you need an area and inform the application which is going to be the area to be painted. Let's start this with this first layer here. It's called canvas. Okay, so this is the witch here. The witch is going to be the thing being painted. And here it's a nice information for you all. Although you see this white area here, when you start to paint, you're not going to be painting this white area. This white area, in fact, is part of the background. It does not exist. What's going to be painted in our situation is just the area or the layer where Candice, in our case here, this little witch, exists. So if you come here to Photoshop and click Control 1, oops, I'm sorry, in fact it's Control T, Command T in the PC, and I think it's probably Control T on the Mac, on the PC. It's Command T in the Mac, I think it's Control T in the PC. But as you can see, this is the size of the layer. So in fact, the painting area will just happen in this small area here. So if we set Canvas as the area for painting, this is the area that are going to be painted. And some people do not understand that. Let's check it in reality. So I think it's going to be easier to understand. I'm going to place this, and I select this, and I'm going to come here still in the interactions, and I'm going to click this Set Canvas. And this window pops up. So the window says, okay, this layer canvas, this is the width and height of the layer, so it's 300 by 403 pixels, and it automatically add this as the main area for painting. You can increase a little bit. You can say, okay, I want to extend the width to 500, but I'm not going to touch it now because I'm trying to show you how things work in the background. I can set the canvas color, and the canvas color again I'm setting to white. Why? Because the white is the background. And the initial brush size, if the user forget to click a brush size and start just to paint, the brush size is going to be a 15 point size, and the brush color, I'm going to set the initial brush color to, I don't know, green. I think it's ridiculous, but just to show things. Okay, so I'm going to save this. Another thing that it's important to understand, the layer to be used as canvas must be a transparent layer. Okay, as you can see here, canvas is fully transparent. You see white here, meaning that the white areas and the black areas will not be painted. In fact, all the non-transparent areas here are not going to be painted. You're not going to be able to paint over this part of the broom here, or again over the hat of the witch. So it must be transparent. What happens if you have everything like the face of canvas in white? You are not going to be able to paint that. So because again, we are just faking the system. So I'm going to put back here the background. So with that set, let's publish again, and we're going to see that the publishing process is much faster now because we are not exporting images anymore, just the interaction that we set. So here we are. If we start to paint, you see the small green dots, 15, it's the size. But let's try to paint over the hat. You cannot. Okay, let's try to paint here this area. You cannot, because again you are limited to the area where Canvas resides. But you can, let's say, let's increase the brush. I click this one here. I'm gonna pick a blue, and I have the blue. And if you remember, we set the blue to 50% transparent, and we have this white here. So I'm painting here, and I have this orange. I'm gonna paint the orange. Oh, I need to white it again. I can come in here and press the white. Okay, and if I decide to take a picture, all I have to do is to press this button, and I have the picture here. And I think I can find this picture here in my Finder and show you. Let me find it here. So my desktop, and I have it. Here we go. Here we have. So this in the official device, in the iPad, for example, it would appear in your photo library. So you have the thing here. But again, you are limited by this size. And some of you may say, Alex, I want to paint in this entire area here, but I can't. Or some of you can even say, no, what, Alex, I notice here that although my image is a little smaller than that, some brushes go over the real, like in this example here, it's going over, because if you know, Canvas is just this. What happens is, again, because we are just faking, we are using the boundaries of the image, and because the brush is much bigger and we are painting on top of this, some brushes may go a little bit off the original size, but never be able to go further than that. So how to make, for example, this entire area here paintable? Let's go back to Photoshop, and this is the trick that I'm gonna use. I'm not gonna use this canvas anymore, so I'm gonna remove this canvas. So I select the canvas, delete it, and one trick here, you could simply delete this, and that's it. Or a trick that you could use in our example, I'm gonna use this, is just to set the opacity to 0. Setting the opacity to 0 is the same as coming here and set a hide layer group. So if you're not sure that you are going to use or not, you can set the opacity to 0, or like we learned in the previous video, starting 2.2, Kwik 2.2, you can just simply add a dash here, and this layer is not going to be rendered. Okay, so let's see if it's still working. Hopefully it will. And I'm gonna bring this big canvas layer here to opacity 100%. So this is a much bigger Ctrl T again layer. And the trick that I did was simply to expand the background area. Again, it's still a transparent layer. Oh, I have to set this. Okay, so it's still transparent, but the difference again, it almost has the full size of the fake sheet below. So again, let's accept that. And now what I'm gonna do here is to set this new layer, big canvas, as the canvas. So, and again, I'm gonna make the brush a little bit bigger at this time. The original brush color, I don't want a green anymore. It's gonna be red now. And that's it. Oops, I have to close here, save. And let's publish again. And again, much faster than previously. And here we have a much bigger canvas, and again a red. And now, I cannot come. Why, Alex? And I know what I did it in purpose. If you we come back here in the beacons, double click here, check that. It's still carrying the old size of the layer, and this layer is much bigger than that. So you can fix that entering the values here. So it would be, I don't know, 500 pixels by, I'm just guessing here, and we are gonna fix that, 450. So I'm gonna save that, publish again. You can see you can start to come much further than you could in the past. Okay, and also the other buttons are gonna still so you have this orange here, so you can play with orange and with blues. Oops, I have to click blues. And again, another thing that I mentioned before is the ability to shake to clean everything. If you're on the device, it's much easier, just shake it. If not, if you're in the simulator, you can come here in hardware and simulate the shake. So when you shake, whoa, voila, everything is white again. So hopefully this quick video tutorial gives you more information on how to paint with Kwik, and let's go to the next. Take care. Bye bye.